All right, so I've been looking at the responder tool a little bit. I changed the name to backatcha, which seems ludicrous, so that should be a better name. I think I need a more ludicrous sounding name. Conference report a while ago when I was working on this a couple months ago had some good ideas, sort of the logical next things to do. What I really realized though is there's this thing of, I've spent a couple months working on this. I think maybe it was a month, I think it was something like that, 6 weeks, working, basically full time on the new version of the response DB tool, and I redid how the database was working and various things. Now it works. There was a bug this last couple days I've been looking at. I fixed those bugs, just a display bug because the YouTube pages changed how they were rendered. So I adjusted to that. Now the issue, so it works. You can add responses. It shows you the response when you go to the page. It will show you responses already added by other people. You kind of need a critical mass of people for that database to get populated, right? Now, we could do it because we watch each other's videos, and so it's not like you would need the critical mass necessarily to make responses across all of YouTube. But in terms of philosophy vlogging, we could, for lack of a better term, we could probably use it. But I'm not really into evangelizing or trying to convince you guys you need a tool that you don't even know about or anything. And I'm also not interested in telling people to be early adopters. For how long? How long do you have to keep using it until you see that reaction? That's something. I mean, I want to build the tool, so I'm more interested in putting things in this tool that are useful to an individual user prior to there being a critical mass of adoption, so that things like a response database get filled out. And I remembered something I wanted to make for a long time, and it relates to this time code thing. So what I'm going to doing next, and I just did last night, did proof of concept work to prove that it's possible. Is so when you go to the YouTube page and you have the extension installed and this mode turned on, it'll give you some buttons, and it'll be configurable what buttons by the programmer, what buttons it gives. But it's kind of a thumbs up, thumbs down thing, but I think that's not specific enough, so it's more likely to say insightful versus misleading, and funny versus unfunny or whatever. And when you press the button, it'll record exactly where it was in the video, so you're meant to press it at the parts that you like, yay kind of stuff, and then it'll be able to make charts of that. And this is a necessary component of the tool, of the whole structured conversation tools that I'd like to create. And it would be of interest to me to use this. I'd be interested in doing that and seeing what my responses were. And of course, even if there's one other user, to see that how it adds together to me, that's interesting, so that it's compelling for me to go ahead and do that. And even in the medium run, with a small group of people using this, they could go through a set of videos marking highlights. And on the back end, since I have all the back end processing stuff, we could easily take the videos that were reviewed, take the highlights, cut them out, and automatically make sort of a highlight reel. And I think that would be very interesting. So anyway, anybody that is playing around with the tool, I haven't checked the database to see, but if you are, you might have turned it off because it had a display error. You can turn it back on. The new version will automatically download and whatnot if the extension is enabled. All right, cheers.